You're watching my weekly live plant-based cooking class. My name is Cheryl Martinez and I am the founder of Beginner Cooking. Today we are making a delicious Thanksgiving dessert recipe. It's really easy to make and you can get the recipe at beginnercooking.com. It's called a soft date cake. Yes, it's a melts in your mouth, soft, gooey, delicious sweet cake that not only is it perfect for Thanksgiving, but we're making a healthier vegan version of this cake, and I'm planning on bringing it to my family Thanksgiving gathering. And if you guys are looking for a fun treat to bring a date cake, because you know what, it's more fun than the traditional pumpkin pies, apple pies. Everyone's going to be bringing that, right? Why not bring something different and unique that other people may not have tried yet, right? So this soft date cake is a sure crowd pleaser, guaranteed. It's easy to make, it's delicious, we're making it healthier. So if you're wondering what to bring to Thanksgiving, I got you, all right? So go to beginnercooking.com and get your ingredient list in case you guys want to cook along with us live today. All you're gonna need is a couple things: some vegan butter, spelt flour or flour of your choice, some raw walnuts, pitted dates, some monk fruit sugar substitute, some baking powder, baking soda, ground cinnamon, some unsweetened applesauce as our egg replacement, and some vanilla bean paste and maple syrup or even date syrup or even coconut nectar. All right, guys, that's all you need to make this recipe, and I promise you are going to love it, and it's going to melt in your mouth, and it's not going to last till Thanksgiving, so you're going to have to make it a few times. If you try it now, then make it again right before Thanksgiving so it's nice and fresh, okay? All right, so let me say hello to who's here in the chat while you guys go get your ingredients prepped and ready to go. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Kevin's here. I eat dates every day and plan on making this. Yes, Kevin, you're making me so happy right now. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you, love? She says, loving the hair. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I put some extra mousse in it today. That's why it looks a little crunchier than normal. Jacqueline says, great to be with you. Can't wait for today's recipe. We'll make for my Thanksgiving here in South Africa. Yes, I'm so glad that we'll be eating the same thing together on Thanksgiving Day. I love that. All right, let me see who else is here. We got Nikki Ricky is here. Hello. Life is a Beach is here. Mex O joins, and West Samara. What's going on, guys? Where are you tuning in from? And we have Caesary, USA 987. Digital Hero is here. Barzini's here. Ritz Bitso. What's up, guys? How are you? Thanks for the follow, Digital Hero. So again, you guys are watching my weekly live plant-based cooking class. I do this every single Sunday, same place, same time, at 4 p.m. Eastern time at facebook.com/cheryl.tv. If you'd like to get a reminder before we go live, you can go to rsvp.beginnercooking.com and I will send you a reminder an hour before we go live every week so you don't miss out. So if you want to cook along with us live, I post the recipe that we're making a few days before each cooking class, all right? So if you happen to want to cook along with us as we're all making it, you are welcome to do that. Just check out the blog a few days before and you will see the recipe there. Just like this one today, this is the date cake we're making. Check it out. Looking good, right? Are you guys excited for this? Does this not look amazing or what? So if you have a nut allergy, or if anyone that's going to be at your Thanksgiving gathering has a nut allergy, you can of course omit the nuts if you would want to, or you can put something else on top, maybe like some coconut flakes, which maybe we'll add today. We'll do both, why not? Have some fun. Yeah, I mean, this recipe will taste great with or without the nuts. So don't worry, you can still make it even if you have a nut allergy or someone in your family does, all right? Clixias, Camilla was here. What's going on, Nieves? Nieves was the winner of our weekly giveaway last week. She won our inspiration earrings. The tracking notification says they should be there on Monday. So I'm excited for you to get your earrings. And Keisha Williams is here. What's going on, Keisha? She was also a past winner. We got Christian is here. Hello, love. Big Don is here. Ivan DeVega is here. We Samarab. What's up, guys? Never First. And Digital Hero says he's tuning in from Ohio. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, so again, we're making a soft date cake with a crumbled walnut topping and a maple syrup drizzle. And if you want the ingredient list, you can get that at @veganercooking.com. It's the most recent recipe post, all right, guys? So you can follow along and make this recipe with us live. So I'm gonna hop right into it. We'll have more time to chat later. We're gonna do a Q&A later. You can ask me any questions you want about a plant-based lifestyle if you're thinking about transitioning, or even if you're not and you just want to be inspired to add a couple more plant-based meals to your diet. That's totally fine. I'm here for you. My community is here for you. My veganers are awesome, and we're all here to help each other. DJ San Juan, what's going on? Oh, you like my smile? Thank you, love. All right, guys, let's start out with the soft date cake. I'm gonna be using my TM6 robot to make this recipe, but you can absolutely make this on your stove, okay? There's just a couple quick things we gotta do on the stove before we pop this in the oven, all right? Super easy, I promise. DJ Ease, what's going on? How are you? 𝘂𝘂𝘧𝗓𝘂𝘕, 𝘸𝘪𝘏𝘂𝑃𝑔𝑟𝑒𝑡. What's up? Jacqueline says she's hyped for the QA. You should be. You wanna know why? Because during the end, I'm also going to be doing fun little thing where I'm going to give you guys 10 different ways that you can replace eggs and bacon. We're using one of my favorite ways today, which is applesauce. We're using applesauce as the egg replacement in today's recipe, okay? That's one of the ways that we're making this traditional recipe that's normally not vegan. We're making it vegan by substituting the eggs with a 1/3 cup of applesauce is equivalent to 1 egg, all right, guys? But I'm gonna be telling you 10 ways that you can replace eggs and bacon, all right? If you didn't know that there was that many ways to replace eggs in the chat, type the word egg in the chat right now, because I got you, and I'm excited to share all these different ways. And also, you guys might know some ways to replace eggs and bacon that I don't even know. So if you know any fun ways to replace eggs and bacon, get ready to put that in the chat later too, so we can all share some tips and advice, all right? So I click start cooking on my TM6 robot, and the first step is to preheat your oven. So he's saying to preheat it to 180 degrees Celsius. So depending on where you are in the world, you might be using Celsius. If you're using Fahrenheit, that's about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 356 to be exact, but we'll just say 350 because I know that's, you know, the universal for Fahrenheit typically. All right, guys, so 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. After you preheat your oven, you're gonna grease a bundt cake tin or pan and sprinkle it with some flour and set it aside. So this pan right here is so special to me. It belonged to my grandma Mima. May she rest in peace. And I am so happy that I get to use it to make a Thanksgiving recipe. So she will be even more here with me on Thanksgiving. She was an amazing cook, my grandma Mima. And unfortunately, before she passed, I wasn't really into cooking. It wasn't until I went vegan that I started to really get into cooking. And it breaks my heart that I can't make all these amazing recipes with her and for her today. But I know that she's here with me and she's helping me cook and helping me spread this plant-based love too with all of you guys. So yes, this is her tin. So this tin is actually a little bit smaller than usual, than the typical bundt pan that you guys are probably normally have in your kitchen. So I'm going to be cutting this recipe in half. The way you see it on my site is the way you should do it if you have a normal bundt pan size. But I'm going to be hopefully I don't mess it up and I can actually look at the numbers and not get distracted by the fact that I'm talking to you guys. But I'm going to be doing everything in half portions so that we don't overflow my smaller bundt pan right here. All right, guys. So to grease it, you can use some vegetable oil. I love using avocado oil, okay? So I'm just gonna grease that real quick. Jacqueline says, "Aw, Betty's pan, beautiful Cheryl, God rest her soul." Yes, I know, I miss her so much. Sharon says, US should change to Celsius. Well, actually, if you use this TM6 robot manually, you can absolutely change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit or whatever metrics you want, right? But But because this is a preloaded recipe and this isn't a US recipe, what's so cool about the TM6 is there's over 60,000 recipes. So there's recipes from all over the world in tons of different languages. So this recipe is not a US recipe, and that's why it's not already in Fahrenheit. And that's why you'll see the measurements are in grams instead of ounces. But it doesn't matter because he's measuring it all for me, so it doesn't matter what the metric is. Like I said, if I'm using it manually, I have the option to go and choose what I want the metric to be. But because these recipes are from all over, I get to try recipes that their chefs created from all over the world. All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is spray our pan. Okay, guys, give that a little bit of grease. Grease that bad boy up. All right, Shacklin McCormick is here. What up, Shaq? So glad you're here. Clexia says, I like the pan, thank you. Sharon says, grandma's watching, thank you. I think she is too. I think she helps me spread the plant-based love during these classes. I do, and helps me be a good cook. She was the best. She was the best cook in the world. And I just feel like if she was still here with us now, I could show her how much I ended up being like her. You know, when I wasn't really into this before. And it was just, you know, I think it was because I was turned off by making, like by handling raw meat, you know, and raw chicken. I think I was turned off by that before. So when I went vegan, I all of a sudden was excited to start cooking more because I wasn't turned off by the concept and the thought of cooking about touching these raw, this dead animal flesh, right? Holding and dealing and smelling dead animal flesh was always a turn off for me, even before I was vegan. And that's why I was always kind of like, I don't really want to try cooking. And now I know why. Like, now it all makes sense. And, you know, I just wish I got here sooner. But even though it took me so long to go vegan, I'm happy that I'm finally here now. Catherine Pagano is here. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? How have you been? Oh my goodness. We have Betty and Norma's here. Santos here. Ricky Corbin, what's going on, sweetheart? How are you? Hi, AZ Trouble. Hi, 𝗔𝗏 Lopez. Hi, 𝗦𝘂𝘧𝘏𝑆. Evan Morgenstein is here. Hi, Evan. How are you? All right, guys, so after you grease your tin, you also want to sprinkle it with a little bit of flour, okay? Just a tiny bit, just give it a quick little sprinkle. So a healthier alternative to regular flour is spelt flour. If you guys don't know about spelt flour yet, definitely pick it up on Amazon or Whole Foods or whatever it is that you shop, because it is a healthier alternative to regular flour, and I love it. I use spelt flour instead of regular flour all the time, especially for baking. It works really, really well, okay? So we're just gonna sprinkle a tiny bit of that. I'll show you what I'm doing. You just sprinkle, you're just gonna coat it. Just gonna coat it with the flour, because you know what's so cool about bundt cake pans is that you end up flipping this over at the end, and that's how the cake ends up looking so pretty, right? If you want the cake to look like this, we gotta flip it over after we let it cool for a little bit. So to get it to pop out like that, it needs to be greased and it needs to be sprinkled with a little bit of flour. That's how it's just gonna pop right out after it cools down, okay? A little trick there. Ricky says, I'm doing good, glad to hear. Catherine, what have you been up to lately, huh? And guys, let me remind you, I do a free weekly giveaway. At every single class, I give away a pair of my inspiration earrings. I have all different types of plants that you can wear to spread plant-based love all around you, and to wear them proudly, to be proud of the transition that you've made to eat healthier and eat kinder and add more plants to your diet. So if you want to enter to win these earrings, all you gotta do is click that share button. All you gotta do is spread that plant-based love, and you're automatically entered to win my weekly giveaway, okay? So click that share button right now. Invite more people to cook along with us right now and all week long, and then I'll announce the winner at our next class, all right? So after we set up our pan, we're going to chop up some walnuts. So you can chop up some walnuts in a food chopper. You can chop them up. Most blenders, you can chop up some soft nuts like this. No big deal. So again, I'm going to be doing half of the measurements. Feel free to do the full measurements if you have a normal size bundt pan. Okay. So I'm going to be doing. Make sure the scale is at 0. I'm going to be doing 50 grams. Okay, but you guys can do 100 grams. Okay. There we go. Perfect. So that's right about 50 grams of walnuts right there, okay? You guys can get a kitchen scale on Amazon for really cheap, like 15 bucks. Or you can get my TM6 robot. He has 60,000 preloaded recipes. He weighs everything for you. And he's gonna chop up these walnuts for us in 2 seconds. There we go. So our walnuts are chopped, and now we can set that aside, okay? We're gonna set that aside because most of that is going to be our topping, okay? Our topping for later. And to get the walnuts to stick to it, what you're gonna need to do is drizzle a little bit of maple syrup, or drizzle a little bit of coconut nectar, or drizzle a little bit of date syrup. Did you know that you could buy date syrup? Like, everyone knows of dates themselves, right? Like dates, here, I'll show you. Everyone knows what dates look like, right? These are dates right here. But dates also come in the form of syrup. So you can use date syrup instead of maple syrup. You can use it as a sweetener in your coffee, in your tea, in your yogurt, wherever you would need a sweetener. Feel free to use date syrup instead of maple syrup if you want, okay? All right, so here we have our walnuts chopped up for later, okay? So set that aside. The next step is to add your dates, all right? Okay, where are they? So again, I'm gonna do about half that. Set that to 0. All right, so 190 grams is what my robot is saying to use right now. And by the way, if you guys like my robot, I have promo codes. If anyone wants a discount on this thing, I am happy to hook you up with a promo code. Just let me know, all right? All right, so after we add the dates, we're gonna add some water, okay? My robot is saying 190 grams. Again, I'm gonna do a little bit less because I'm doing half of the recipe size for my smaller tin, okay? All right, I know that you guys have been begging me for a cake recipe for a long time now, so I'm really happy that we're finally making a cake recipe. And I didn't want to start with just a random chocolate cake, which is awesome, don't get me wrong, and we'll do that. But for our first cake recipe, cooking together live, I wanted to do something fun, something different, something unique, something you probably haven't made before, right? All right, so after you add the dates in the water, let me just show you real quick. So again, the dates and the water is in here. We're gonna cook that, and that's gonna turn into like this soft, gooey, syrupy kind of texture just by cooking it for 3 minutes. And again, you don't need my TM6 to do that. You can do this on your stove, okay? So 3 minutes, you're gonna cook your dates and your water on your stove, stirring it, all right? My robot's stirring it for us. Excuse the noise. 𝗡𝗵𝒐𝒏𝒐𝗏. I love that username. Yes, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, 𝗡𝗵𝒐𝒏𝒐𝗏. Where are you tuning in from? 𝘬𝐿𝑖91 is here. Bull Montana is here. Hello, hello, Beach Life. What's up, Carlos99? Hey, guys. Big Brother Guy is here. Busy Mortals. What's up, everybody? Where are you tuning in from? I want to know where everyone's tuning in from. Comment in the chat where you are from, guys. Put it in the chat. Let me know where in the world you are located and where you're tuning in from. Katarzyna. What's going on, Katarzyna? That's a cool name. Where are you? Where are you right now? I want to know definitely where you're from with that name. That name is awesome. 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗀. What's up, 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗀? Shaq is in Virginia. Yes. 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗀 is in Kenya. Arturas, what's going on? 𝘸𝘪𝘆𝘆 is in Scotland. Kevin is in Missouri. Clixius is in Miami. Yes, see, I love this. Jacqueline is in South Africa. Guys, we have people here from all over the world today. That is awesome. What's up, Masha? Masha, where are you tuning in from? Sharon Kelly. Paul Smith, Saranac Lake, New York. Saranac Lake sounds beautiful. I bet it was so beautiful today. Did you get outside today? I mean, does this feel like November? I don't know what the weather is like with you guys right now, but it is way too warm for November in New York right now. I'm in New York City, and the weather has been awesome this weekend. Surprisingly beautiful. So, yes, Ricky knows. Ricky's from Yonkers, New York. Yes, Ricky. All right, so you can see it already started getting quieter. Why? Because it's less of the date thickness, and it's more smoothed out and turning into that syrupy kind of texture, okay? So that's why you don't hear it as much. And it's really cool how the dates can transform into this syrup kind of thing. Sharon says, gorgeous summery day. Yes, it is. I know. All right, guys. So when you buy your dates, you want to remember to look for the ones that say pitted, okay? Just to save yourself a step, because dates do have pits in them. Yes, they do. So if you get the pitted dates, then you don't have to worry about cutting them open and picking out the pits yourself. It just saves yourself some step, saves yourself some work. And you guys know I'm all about making things easier in the kitchen. That's why I love my TM6 robot so much, because he makes cooking so easy, so effortless, so time efficient. So yeah, I'm always looking for ways to save time and make cooking easy. So something like this, why buy the pitted ones, buy the ones with the pit when you can have the pitted ones, right? All right, so that is done. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like. It's amazing. It's amazing how these dates now look like this. Do you see the difference? Look at that, guys. Look what our dates look like now. Pretty cool, right? Right? It smells really good too. Okay. So the next step, where did I put my spatula? Here it is. So the next step is to add your flour. So again, if you only have regular flour in your house, you know, white flour, whole wheat flour, that's fine. That will absolutely work in this recipe. But if you want to take it a step further and make it even healthier, check out spelt flour. Spelt flour is my jam. I love this flour, and you guys will love it too. You can use it for like making anything, whether it's baking cookies, cakes. Spelt flour is an awesome, healthier alternative, okay? So I'm gonna do about 110 grams. If you guys are doing the full recipe, you can do 220 grams. And again, if you're wondering what that is in ounces or cups, you can easily just Google the conversion, okay? So don't worry about not being able to weigh in grams, okay? All right, here we go. I'm gonna do about 110 grams, almost there, okay. Done. I click next, and the next step is to add sugar. So my robot is saying to add sugar, but we're making a healthier version of this cake, right? Because being vegan is not just about or at least for me, I think that being vegan is more about a complete lifestyle change, about choosing not only what's kinder in life, but what's healthier in life. So if there's a healthier alternative that also happens to be vegan, then of course go for it, right? And that's what I love about monk fruit sugar substitute, because this works as a one-to-one sugar replacement, and it's so sweet that you actually can use even less of it if you want to. Now, and because the dates are so sweet themselves, I recommend using a little bit less monk fruits than if you were to use regular sugar. Obviously, if you don't have monk fruit in your house and you still want to make this recipe, you can use regular sugar or brown sugar or coconut sugar, cane sugar, whatever you have. But I do recommend monk fruit because, you know, I try to make things healthier for you guys, because that is the point, right? That's the point of this lifestyle, of wanting to make a positive lifestyle change to better yourself and better your health, all right, guys? And also for the animals, of course, right? So I'm gonna do just about 50 grams is all I'm gonna put in, because the last time I made this, it was so sweet. And it really depends on how your preference, right? How sweet do you like your cake to taste? You know, some people love it really, really sweet. Some people, you know, don't like things too sweet. So it's really, what's so cool about once you really get into cooking and you start experimenting, you start really loving that creative control that you have over just learning in the kitchen and just, you know, really starting to get to know, you know, how to play around with ingredients in a really fun, exciting way. Sharon says, interesting fact, date palm is probably the most ancient cultivated tree in the world. It has been cultivated in North America and the Middle East for at least 5,000 years. The earliest record from Iraq shows that date culture was probably established as early as 3000 BC. That is a really cool fact, Sharon. Thank you for sharing, as always. Jacqueline says, cool to know. Thanks for that, Sharon. And some spelt benefits she's going to hook us up with too. Due to the many minerals and vitamins spelt contains, it can help regulate metabolism, increase circulation, improve the immune system, lower blood sugar, and reduce bad cholesterol levels. Well, I mean, oh my God, right? I mean, why bother with regular flour when you can use a flour that's gonna do all that for you, right? That's what I'm talking about, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you so much for the tips. Nicole Clemente, what's going on? How are you? Davy Genius, what's up? DXB 5000, Pen Smike, what's up? And Goob 177, higher for the fun. You guys and your usernames are too fun. All right, guys, so we just added the spelt flour, the monk fruit sugar substitute, the cooked dates and water, okay? That's where we're at in the recipe. If you're just tuning in, you can get this recipe at beginnercooking.com. It's the most recent blog post. All right, so now we're gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder, okay? 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And don't confuse baking powder with baking soda. They are different and you will need both for this recipe, okay? So baking powder, and we're doing a teaspoon. Actually, but because I'm doing half, I'm gonna do half a teaspoon because I'm making half of the recipe. That's right. Wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but okay, here we go. There we go. I click next on my fabulous robot, and we're gonna do the baking soda as well, okay? So teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda, and again, I'm doing half because my Bunsen tin is small. Okay. Next step is to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Yes, we're gonna add some cinnamon to this recipe. I love cinnamon. Adds a nice little hint of flavor to this. So you guys are gonna do a teaspoon. I'm doing half a teaspoon. There we go with the cinnamon. What other cake recipes do you guys want to make in these cooking classes together? If there's a cool cake that you would love to make vegan, that let's say you just haven't had a vegan version of it, or you haven't had that kind of cake before since you've gone vegan, let me know what kind of cake that is so we can plan that for a future class, all right? All right, now my robot is saying to add a teaspoon of salt. We don't need that, guys, I promise. This is so flavorful, you don't need salt, so you can skip that step. All right, the next step is to add some butter. I'm gonna be using Earth Balance soy-free vegan butter. This butter is awesome. It looks, tastes, and works just like regular butter, all right, guys? So don't worry about, thinking that you can't make a recipe because it calls for butter. There's so many awesome vegan butter alternatives that exist today. I mean, more brands keep coming out with their own vegan butter as well. I happen to really love the Earth Balance, but by all means, feel free to experiment with any of the other vegan butter brands as well, okay? All right, so again, I'm gonna do about half that. Okay, we're almost done with this recipe already, guys. You see how quick and easy that was? Just like that. Super easy. Okay. All right, so now we click next. And this is where the robot says, or anyone says, put an egg, right? Put an egg because we need to bind that cake together. Well, what's so cool is that there are so many ways to replace eggs, especially in baking. We have endless options. People think they can't make their old favorite recipes anymore when they go vegan because it's like, how am I gonna bake without eggs? They don't understand. There are so many different ways to create a binder for your baking needs, all right, guys? So applesauce is one of my favorite ways to replace eggs in baking. Just a 1/3 cup of applesauce will do the trick. I didn't bring my measuring cup. 1 second, be right there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so a 1/3 cup of applesauce is all you need, all right, guys? So I'm going to pour that real quick. Just measure that 1/3 cup. All right, now I love applesauce as my egg replacement because, especially for this recipe, you want to think about if the binder that you choose, and like I said, I'm going to give away 10 different ways that you can replace eggs in baking, okay? So you have plenty of options, but you want to think about what it is that you're making and will that substitute change or alter the flavor at all? And if it will it alter it in a way where you're going to like it more or you might like it a little less? So that's how you want to think about it when you go and choose what you're using as your substitute, okay? So a 1/3 cup of applesauce we are going to pop in as our egg replacement for this recipe, okay? So how we're making this recipe vegan is by substituting regular butter for vegan butter and by substituting the egg for applesauce, all right? Really easy. You know, some people might look at this and be like, oh, I don't know what to do, but it's so easy to make recipes vegan. We can make almost a vegan version for almost all of your old favorite things, I promise. So if you're thinking about transitioning, you don't really have to give up stuff. It's more about just finding the vegan alternatives, okay? Because so many alternatives exist today, and you can make things vegan by just substituting a few little things like we're doing here today, okay? Now we're gonna add some vanilla bean paste, or you can use vanilla extract, whichever you prefer. You guys know I love vanilla bean paste because the vanilla bean paste is, it has the little black vanilla bean specks in it, and it just kind of, it's a little bit, the flavor pops even more than the extract. It really just gives it a nice little boost. So it's worth the extra money. Some people don't buy the paste because it costs more than the extract, but I'm telling you, it's worth it, especially if you're making like a homemade ice cream or a homemade sorbet or something. You want those little specks in there and you want that flavor to pop. So that's why I recommend splurging on the paste instead of the extract, especially for things like baking and ice cream and stuff like that, okay? So this is the vanilla bean paste that I got on Amazon. It's by this brand called '0 okay? Really amazing, really delicious. You're gonna love just sticking your whole nose in there. All right, so that's it, guys. That's it. Our batter is pretty much done. We just gotta mix it up now, okay? So here's everything. This is what it looks like before we mix it all together, all right? Don't go anywhere. We're gonna do a fun Q&A in a little bit while this is cooking. So I am going to turn the knob to speed 6, and forgot to put the top on. My bad. Luckily he doesn't do anything without the top on because he's so smart. All right, so 40 seconds. He's gonna mix that batter for us, okay? Hi, Alina. How are you, sweetheart? Thanks for coming back. Hi, Aloe. Where are you tuning in from, Aloe? And Pnu Nakata. What's up, Pnu? Angry Turk. Hi. Carmen Mignon is here. Hello, Carmen Mignon. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Official J Star. What's up? What's up, Halidi? And Drive. Mike 88. Penguin Racer. I like that name, Penguin Racer. Dan Rado. Todd Gardner. Hey, everybody. All right, guys, that mixture's done. That mixture's done. Now we're just gonna add half of our chopped walnuts to it, and then we're gonna save the rest of the walnuts as our topping to sprinkle on top, okay? So I'm gonna add about 30 grams. You guys are gonna add about 60 grams, but just half of the walnuts is really all it is. So don't worry too much about measuring this part, okay? All right. So there we go, and I'm also just gonna make sure everything that's on the sides are pushed down so we can give it one last final mix. And you guys can mix this by hand on your stove, or you can use an electric mixer as well. If you don't have my TM6 robot, don't worry, you can make this the same old way that you would traditionally make a cake batter recipe. Just do it the same exact way, okay? It's no big deal. Yes, my robot's amazing, and yes, I want you guys all to have him because he changed my life and helped me go vegan, and I know he could help so many other people just enjoy cooking more and just save time in the kitchen. But of course, I still want you guys to all make these recipes, even if you don't have one. So, okay, so he's saying to mix it with a spatula. I'm just gonna have him mix it himself. Okay. All right, so yeah, I'm just giving that one little last mix now that I added half of the walnuts in there, okay? Now the batter is done. You're gonna add that batter to your greased bundt tin, and then you're gonna pop that in the oven and then smell it and eat it, okay? That's it, that's all you gotta do. Pour the batter in here, put it in the oven, smell it and eat it, yes. But of course we gotta flip it over and sprinkle it with our toppings. It's all about the toppings. We're gonna do a walnut topping. I'm gonna add some unsweetened coconut flakes on top as well. And then the maple syrup drizzle. Don't forget to put your syrup drizzle on it first, okay? Because that's how you're gonna get your toppings to stick, okay guys? All right guys, so now that this is done, you're gonna transfer the mixture to our bundt tin, okay? So here, this is the batter. Did you see the batter? Looks good, right? Looks good? And what's so amazing is that since these batters are vegan, if you wanted to take a little lick, you know, stick your finger in there and just take a little taste, you absolutely can. You don't have to worry about, you know, raw batters that had eggs in it that is not safe to taste, right? All right, guys, so now we're gonna pour that into our greased tin. Now remember, this is greased with a little bit of avocado oil, or you can use vegetable oil, whatever kind of spray you have, and a little sprinkle of the flour. So this way, when we pop this over later, our bundt cake will pop right out easy breezy, okay? So now let's pour that in here. Okay, we're gonna pour it nice and even. Can you guys see that? Am I blocking your view? Sorry if I'm blocking your view for a second. Just give me a minute to just kind of add all of this in here, and then we're gonna get to our fun Q&A where we can all share some plant-based love and give some tips and advice on anyone that's either struggling to go vegan or wants to know how to, you know, how to find some of their favorite alternatives. And then I'm gonna show you guys, we're gonna go over 10 different ways that you can replace eggs in baking. 10 different ways. Like I said, the one we use today, one of my favorites, is a 1/3 cup of applesauce, but I'm gonna show you a bunch of different ingredients and combinations of those ingredients that will work as a binder in baking so that you don't need to use eggs, so that you can save some chickies and make your baking delicious desserts vegan. All right, so that is all ready. Okay, so now it's time to pop this in the oven. So now this takes about 45 minutes to bake. So I'm not gonna be able to show you the finished product during this class, but I have the picture, it's right here. And when it pops out of the oven, I'm gonna take another picture with it and post that on my social media tomorrow. So this is what it's gonna look like, all right guys? You see here, so again, you're gonna bake this for about 45 minutes. You wanna keep an eye on it. If you're doing a half portion size like I am, you can pop a little fork or a little skewer in there, and when that comes out clean, you'll know it's done, because I'm probably gonna cook it a little bit less because again, I'm doing half portion size. So if you cut portions in half in especially baking recipes, you most of the time you don't need to cook it for that full amount of time, okay? So yeah, so basically this is ready to be baked, and then after you bake it, you're gonna let it cool for a bit, pop it over onto a plate. You're gonna see the beautiful design that this awesome tin leaves. You can get your own pretty tin on Amazon or wherever you like to shop for your bakeware and cookware, all right guys? And then you're gonna sprinkle it. You're gonna drizzle some maple syrup on top, not too much, okay? Because the cake is already really sweet. So you don't wanna overdo it with this maple syrup drizzle, okay? Just put enough so that you can make your topping stick to it, okay? So then after you drizzle some maple syrup or date syrup or coconut nectar on top, then you're gonna sprinkle your walnuts on top nice and evenly so it looks pretty. And then you're gonna sprinkle a little bit of unsweetened coconut if you want. That's just something a little extra I threw in for today, okay? All right, guys, and that's it. that's it for this recipe. So now we can have some fun, we can do some Q&A, and we can talk about the 10 different ways that you can replace eggs in baking, all right? So yes, Alina says, I love walnuts, yay. And you know, you can use chopped pecans on top if you want. It doesn't have to be walnuts, you know? So again, feel free to experiment with the stuff that's already in your kitchen or the stuff that you know that you love, all right? That's part of the fun. Official J Star, how are you? Don Armando, what's going on? Kevin Jones is back. Karen says, or a ceramic pan. Elise O'Connor Abate is here. Hi, Elise. How are you? Keisha says a pineapple upside down cake. I love that idea. We should try that in one of our classes. Great idea, love. Karen says, I added chickpeas to my tagine dish today as an extra. Good for you. See, so Karen made the tagine that we made a few weeks ago. She sent me a picture of it. It looked amazing, Karen. Good for you. So she's talking about that recipe, which is also on the blog. If you want to make our amazing, delicious vegan Moroccan tagine, it's incredible. One of the most flavorful dishes I've ever made. If you guys want to make that, it's on the blog. And she was just saying that she got creative in the kitchen and added some of her own little tweaks to it. Yes, very proud of you. Jacqueline says, love all the knowledge in this community. That's what it's all about. Yay, Jacqueline, I know. And Sharon just is always sharing these awesome tips. Absolutely. Is Shaq still here? Shaq, where are you? I haven't seen you in the chat in a little bit. I want to make sure you're still here. Horse with Nominee, if I'm pronouncing that right. Glockbox, what's going on? Bill Jersey Shore, hi guys. Hi, Elvin. What's up, Elvin? All right, guys, so now I want to talk about the 10 different ways that you can replace eggs in baking. And don't go anywhere because I'm going to be announcing the winner of my inspiration earrings in a little bit too, okay? So don't go anywhere. The rest of this class is going to be really fun, I promise. All right, so let's talk about the 10 different ways that you can replace eggs in baking. If you have any ideas of your own, I want you to put that in the chat right now because maybe you'll say it so I don't even have to say it, or maybe you'll come up with ones that I didn't know, that I didn't think of, that you thought of, all right? So let me know any other alternatives that you think, you can even make a guess if you want, that you think would be great for replacing eggs in baking, okay? If you know any other cool substitutes, let me know, all right? Put it in the chat. Jacqueline says, I forgot to tell you I made the spooky chocolate dip. It was unbelievable. I need to send you the pic. Yay, Jacqueline. I know, it's crazy. I didn't expect it to taste that good when I first discovered the recipe, when my robot taught it to me. I was like, wow, it tastes, because it doesn't taste like just chocolate fudge or hot fudge or, or chocolate syrup. It doesn't taste like that. It really is its own dip, its own like chocolatey flavor combination. So yeah, I loved it too, and that's why I shared it with you guys. I'm so glad you tried it and you loved it, and I hope that your guests loved it as well. Kevin Jones says applesauce. Yes, applesauce is what we used in today's recipe as a replacement. And again, all you need is 1/3 cup is equivalent to 1 egg replacement in baking. Yes. Jacqueline recommended chickpea brine. Yes. Are you talking about aquafaba? Aquafaba is another good replacement for eggs. Absolutely. 3 tablespoons of aquafaba work as an awesome egg replacement. All right, guys, so we gave you 2 ways so far, 8 more to go. The first one was 1/3 cup applesauce, and the second one is 3 tablespoons of aquafaba. If you don't know what aquafaba is, it is actually the water that is left over in the cans of your chickpeas, okay? So that water, that gooey chickpea water, don't throw it away the next time you use a can of chickpeas to make hummus or something. Save the water as your egg replacement. You can also use aquafaba water to make things like marine. It's really, really, really versatile. So definitely Google aquafaba if you want to learn more about that, because it's a vegan's dream. And how it was discovered that soaking water is works so well for egg replacements is just incredible. So incredible. All right, does anyone else have any other ideas of what could be egg replacements? Because there's a whole bunch. You'll be shocked how many options we have. Sharon says, never heard of aquafaba? You're kidding me. Yeah, it's just your regular chickpea can. Your regular chickpea can. normally you save the water. You just rinse the chickpeas and then you use the chickpeas in your recipe. Save that water and it works as egg replacements. It's amazing. Absolutely Google it to learn more. You're gonna love it, Sharon. All right, so let's get into a third way that you could replace eggs. Keisha knows one. Bananas. Yes, bananas is another way you can replace eggs in baking. So a 4th cup of mashed banana is equivalent to 1 egg in baking. Or a 4th cup of mashed avocado is also equivalent to 1 egg in baking as well. So yes, Keisha, thank you for adding that. You knew it. All right, so another way you can replace eggs in baking is ground flaxseed. So you guys know flax seeds, actual seeds. In fact, I have them here if you guys want to see. Let me grab them real quick for you. Okay, so these flax seeds right here. If you grind up these flax seeds, which by the way, you can buy it already pre-ground, or you can just pop it in your blender or your TM6 and you can have it grind it for you, okay? But yes, if you grind a tablespoon of flaxseed, or chia seeds, by the way, you can grind chia seeds as well, and add 3 tablespoons of water. If you let that sit for a little bit, it'll actually turn into like a jelly texture that will work as a binder to replace an egg in baking. Yes, it will. So that's another one right there, okay? And did anyone else suggest any other ways? I know it's really not, there's not many that you think of. Horse with Nami sent me some likes. Thank you, love. Guys, yes, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you want to enter my weekly giveaway, hit that share button. I announce the winner. At every class, I pick someone new. I'm going to be announcing the winner later. Hi, Rebecca. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, Rebecca. What's up? What's going on? How you been? All right, let me see who else is here. Don Perry, Forever 44. All right, guys, so another way you can replace eggs in baking is using 3 tablespoons of nut butter. Yes, you can use almond butter, cashew butter, any kind of nut butter you want. Just 3 tablespoons of that will be equivalent to an egg in baking. Yeah, so that's another one. But again, if you're using nut butter, you want to think about what it is that you're making and will the taste of nut butter, affect what it, the flavor of what you're making. So for example, cornbread. I make vegan cornbread all the time. And I've tried flaxseed eggs, a couple different kinds of eggs, and I found that applesauce is my favorite egg replacement when making cornbread because it doesn't change the flavor of cornbread. And I want cornbread to just taste like cornbread. I don't want it to have other flavors with it. Also, instead of using dairy milk to make my cornbread, I tried all different kinds of milk. I didn't care too much about how the almond milk tasted. I didn't care too much about how the coconut milk tasted, but the oat milk tasted perfect because again, it didn't add any other flavor to the cornbread. I want my cornbread to just taste like cornbread. So the perfect happy balance for vegan cornbread was using oat milk instead of regular milk and using applesauce instead of eggs, okay? And it was just the best cornbread ever, promise. We can make cornbread together live, vegan cornbread together during one of these live classes if you guys want some time. Rebecca says, aloha, sweetheart. Jacqueline says, nut butter, no way, so delicious. Yes, nut butter is great for I'd say cookies too, because cookies probably would taste really good with a nut butter substitute. Sharon says, nut butter is the best. I know you love your nut butter, Sharon. Baka Raula is here. Hello. Sharon just added a link about aquafaba chocolate mousse. I'm going to be adding in a couple weeks. I'm not sure which one, but I already have the recipe ready to go. We're going to be making a tofu chocolate mousse together during one of these live cooking classes. Which date it's going to be is a surprise, but it's coming up soon, and it is so good, so creamy, so amazing. Plus it's healthy. You get some extra protein, and you're going to love this chocolate mousse. So hold up on that recipe and instead wait for the beginner cooking recipe for chocolate mousse, okay? All right, guys. So another way you can replace eggs in baking is 1/4 cup of vegan yogurt, okay? A 1/4 cup of vegan yogurt or a 4th cup of silken tofu. And speaking of that tofu, the tofu chocolate mousse that we just spoke about, silken tofu is what we're going to use for that. I know that most of the time whenever vegans buy tofu, they buy the extra firm, right? Because we're trying to make crispy tofu, we're trying to make, we're trying to make the tofu not so gooey, right? Because crispy tofu is one of the most common ways that vegans like to eat their tofu. But when you make something like chocolate mousse or using tofu as an egg replacement, you want to get the silken tofu version, all right? So yes, if you haven't bought silken tofu yet, now you have a reason to for our chocolate mousse recipe coming up. And if you'd like to try it as a possible egg replacement, you have that option. So a 4th cup of silken tofu or a 4th cup of any vegan yogurt, like 𝘂𝘂 cashew milk yogurt or the So Delicious coconut milk yogurt. I buy those all the time. I have that here in my fridge right now if you want to see it. I love this cashew milk yogurt. If you guys haven't tried this yet, it's awesome. 𝘂𝘂 Project, organic, dairy-free cashew milk yogurt. It's amazing. So you can use vegan yogurt as an egg substitute. So what's so cool about the fact that there's so many, again, I'm probably even going to give you guys more than 10, but what's so amazing is that it's not like, oh, I can't make something because I don't have eggs in the house or blah, blah, because even if you're not trying to be vegan and you run out of eggs, there are so many ways that you can still make whatever recipe it is that you were going to make because you probably already have something else in your house, like a banana or an avocado or some vegan yogurt or some aquafaba water or some flaxseed or some applesauce or something, you know what I mean? We have so many options that you really just don't need eggs. You can use whatever you have lying around in your house, all right? Okay, Lauren Burlinghoff is here. Hello, Lauren. I'm so glad you're here, sweetheart. Paul Boggle sent me some likes. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate the love. All right, guys. So another way that you can replace eggs in baking is 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder plus 2 tablespoons of water. So arrowroot powder is awesome. You can use that. I use that in a couple of recipes, which we'll get into another day. But also, instead of arrowroot powder, you can use potato starch or cornstarch. So if you mix 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder, potato starch, or cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of water, okay? 2 tablespoons of the powder, 2 tablespoons of the water. You mix that together, and that can become another egg replacement, okay? So again, endless options here, all right? So there we go. All right, it looks like I'm giving all the answers now. You guys ran out of egg replacement ideas? All right, I'll keep hooking you up with more. Here's another one. A tablespoon of vinegar or 2 tablespoons of lemon juice with 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Yes, right? Very interesting combination. So that also can replace an egg in baking. But again, you want to be aware of what it is you're baking and will that affect the flavor, okay? But also just something that almost everyone always has in their kitchen. So it's a really quick, easy go-to. So again, that's 1 tablespoon of vinegar, like apple cider vinegar is what I recommend, or 2 tablespoons of lemon juice with 1 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, guys? You mix that together, and there's another way to replace eggs in baking. Yes, all right. Good one? Good one? What has been your favorite egg replacement option so far? All right, guys, I'm going to quickly wrap this up. So we're running out of time, and I still have to announce the winner of this week's inspiration earrings. So I'm going to give maybe about two more ways that you can replace eggs in baking, and then we'll announce the winner of our weekly giveaway, okay? So another way that you can replace an egg in baking is a 4th cup of pureed pumpkin or sweet potato squash. Yeah, so I mean, I know I have tons of pumpkin puree, cans of pumpkin puree in my cupboard right now because I just tend to buy a lot of that during the fall because pumpkin recipes are amazing this time of year. So if you have some pumpkin puree or some sweet potato or squash, you can use a 4th cup of that. Which will be your equivalent to 1 egg, okay? So 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree is equal to 1 egg, all right? And now the last egg replacement idea that I'm gonna give you guys is chickpea flour. Yes, well, if you could use 𝗂𝑃ℱ, which is chickpea water, of course, you could also use chickpea flour. So 4 tablespoons of chickpea flour and 4 tablespoons of water is equal to 1 egg in baking, okay? Jacqueline says nut butter was my fave, but pumpkin is also awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind giving a little bit of a pumpkin flavor to whatever it is you're making, then the pumpkin one is absolutely great. It can make it taste even better, you know? All right, guys, and if you want to get a recap of all these different ways that you can replace eggs in baking, you can go to beginnercooking.com and click on resources. I have a bunch of resources. All the resources are free, and they're ways for you to just kind of help you transition, okay? And the 10 ways to replace eggs in baking is also there on that free resources page. So go to beginnercooking.com in the menu tab, click on resources, and you can have access to this egg replacement list anytime, whenever you need it, okay? So don't worry about remembering all this or writing it all down. All right, guys. Now I would like to announce the winner of this week's inspiration earrings. I'm not sure if she's still here in the chat. I'm hoping she's still here. If she's not, I might have to send her a message later, but she was here earlier. So again, you guys have to be in the cooking class to win, all right? So at least she was here at one point. If she's not still here now, I'll let it slide this time. But you guys have to be in the class to win the inspiration earrings. So click that share button. All you have to do is spread plant-based love to enter to win, and you will automatically be entered. That's it. You can share it to your Facebook profile. You can share it to your story. You can share it to a Facebook group, like a food group or a vegan group. You can share it to your Instagram story. It doesn't matter where you share it. The more shares, the better the chance there is of me seeing it. So keep on sharing all week long until the next class where I announce the next winner. All right, guys? So if you want to know who won my inspiration earrings, drum roll please, this week's winner is Shaq McCormick. Congratulations, Shaq McCormick. Shout out Shaq McCormick. I hope you're still here in the chat. Everyone say congratulations, Shaq. If she isn't, I'm sure she'll come back and watch the rest of it later. Kamala, a friend to plant-based eating. Keisha gave the drum roll. Yay. Alina's doing the celebrating dancer. Paul Bogey, thank you for the likes, love. Sharon says congratulations, Shaq. And there's a new twist on the inspiration earrings. From now on, you guys get to actually pick your own inspiration earrings, because the way it's going to work now is our inspiration shop has been updated. Yes, I updated the shop, so now I'm going to I'll DM you a very special promo code where you can where you can go and pick your own pair of earrings that you want and check out on the site yourself. So I'll give you the code for the free earrings, then you can go and pick whichever one you want, okay? So moving forward, you get to pick your own earrings, and you can check out yourself on the site. So Shaq, once you watch this replay, I will be DMing you your special code so you can go and pick your earrings on the site. We have watermelon earrings, pineapple earrings, strawberry, we have lemons, kiwis, grapefruits, or the cucumber ones like I'm wearing today. And again, I pick a new winner every single week. All you have to do is click that share button and spread some plant-based love to win. That's all you have to do. All right, guys? And if you want to show your support for these free cooking classes, just head over to beginnercooking.com, click on my inspiration shop, and every single thing here, I donate 25% of the profits to charities that rescue farm animals. All right, guys? And I have a special code just for the people who watch the class. If you use the code Made with Love, you can get free shipping on any order you want in the store, okay? So use the code Made with Love to get anything you want, free shipping in my inspiration shop, and 25% of the profits go to charities that raise farm animals, and it's also a great way to support me and these free classes so that I can keep them free and keep on giving them to you guys every week. But I do want to give you a heads up, it is my 6-year anniversary next week. So I am going to be skipping next Sunday because I'm going to be spending the day celebrating with my boyfriend. 6 years. I know it's a really long time. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I will be announcing the winner of the next pair of inspiration earrings. And we're going to be making a fun Thanksgiving recipe too. I'm thinking maybe some vegan stuffing or some vegan vegan gravy. So if you have any ideas on what you would prefer, would you rather a vegan stuffing? Put that in the chat. If you'd rather a vegan gravy, put that in the chat. And we'll make that in 2 weeks for our fun Thanksgiving recipe. Oh, everyone's saying happy anniversary. Thank you so much. I'm very excited. 6 years is a long time. You know, it's the longest relationship I've ever been in. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our anniversary next Sunday. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, all right? Let me know what Thanksgiving recipe you want me to make vegan in 2 weeks for our Thanksgiving cooking class. And don't forget about your Thanksgiving dessert recipe right here, our soft, melt in your mouth date cake with a walnut crumble topping and a maple syrup drizzle. I hope you guys love your date cake, and I'll see you guys for our Thanksgiving cooking class in 2 weeks. And remember to keep on spreading that plant-based love and to show me some love by visiting my inspiration shop. So as a thank you for making this class, for offering these free classes. All right, guys. So keep spreading the love. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.